All right, Shalom. You reached the He Prayed channel, and my name is Azimawa. But first and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halayim Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Harakhakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of 7:13:19, where I learned this truth from and who rule well. Salutations to the Backyard, the elect, the 144,000. It's 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel consist of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The 144,000 being the governing body within the one-third. The rest of the one-third consists of you men, women, and children. Shalom to those Israelites scattered due to the diaspora and also the triangular slave trade. So our people will come looking like different ethnicities, having many complexions. So this is not a black thing. We're not the black Hebrew Israelites. We're just Hebrew Israelites. Shalom to those that died in this truth. It says the dead should be raised up first. Those that will be accompanying Yahweh Shah on his return, including our King, King Mashah, who is King David. And as always, it's an honor and privilege, honor and blessing to continue to do this work. The water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah for answering my prayers and permitting me to do such. Baba Kashal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah allowed us to be an edifying lesson to at least one member of the elect. Now I'm just going to say fair use. This is for educational purposes. You know, you teach your people, I got to teach mine. So I'm going to start at the beginning of this video.
Guys, it's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. It is Saturday, July 26th, 2025, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 1600 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from outer space and also from Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe. So what you're looking at here is a picture taken by a satellite of some kind of intergalactic object that could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft. So according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists, this intergalactic object is a spacecraft from an alien society that is potentially preparing to attack us. And they're saying that the consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could be potentially dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th, to the preprint server ARXIV. Southwest Wales News Service reported.
This spray takes 15 minutes and it protects your car for 8.
Slocky.
The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity, the researchers wrote. The object, dubbed 3I Atlas, the interstellar entity, was discovered on July 1st, rocketing towards the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour, Live Science reported. Less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object, with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measures up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than the island of Manhattan. However, in this new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that the 2017 interstellar object Oumuamua could be an artificial recon probe sent by an alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. In this study, which he collaborated on with Adam Hibbard and Adam Crowell of the Initiative for Interstellar Studies in London, Loeb postulated that 3I Atlas's trajectory suggests a similar alien origin. The trio felt the object's speed, which was significantly faster than Oumuamua and other objects, and the fact that it entered our solar system from a different angle than its predecessors offers various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, Loeb wrote in a blog post. One benefit is that 3I Atlas will make close approaches to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which could allow aliens to stealthily plant spy gadgets there, Loeb wrote. When the so-called undercover UFO reaches its closest to the sun in late November, it will be concealed from Earth's view. This could be intentional to avoid detailed observations from Earth-based telescopes when the object is brightest or when gadgets are sent to Earth from the hidden vantage point, Loeb declared. If this anomaly is a technological artifact, this could support the dark forest hypothesis, which argues we haven't found signs of extraterrestrial entities because they are remaining undercover to shield themselves from predators or prey. Loeb warns that this could suggest that an attack is likely and would possibly require defensive measures to be taken. So this is a Harvard astrophysicist saying that this new object is an alien reconnaissance ship that's spying on our planet, and he thinks that this means that an alien attack could be imminent. Okay.
So let's go into the scriptures. See what the scriptures say, right? The ascension. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So a cloud received him out of their sight, right? So it could have looked like one of these, just a simple cloaked cloud, because they also cloaked themselves or hide, or the ships hide within the clouds. See if I can get it better. You know? So this is the same way the world inly calls Jesus Christ, which we know him as Yahweh Shai, ascended up into heaven. Verse 9 again, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, so they was looking into the atmosphere, as he went up, beheld, two men stood by them in white apparel. Now these men were angels in humanoid form, in all white, which symbolizes purity. Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, how is he taken up? By the ships. See, the so-called white man, he thinks that his Air Force is the biggest, baddest on the planet, and indeed it is. But our Air Force is the biggest and baddest in all of creation. You know? It says, This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner. So the same way he left into heaven in one of our ships, the chariots of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is the same way he's going to return to earth, right? Shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 13 to see why he left. It says, The Son of Man presented. Now the Son of Man is dealing with Yahweh Shai. It says, I saw in the night visions when he was asleep. He had dreams and visions, right? And behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds, or ships, right, of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days is dealing with his Father, Yahweh. He exists. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, and his kingdom is going to be on earth, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him, and all of creation is going to bow down, man. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be ran by so-called blacks, Latinos, and the indigenous of America, is never going to be destroyed. Unlike, these heathens' kingdoms, because we're in the time of the Gentiles. The true Israelites are not don't have a say or a place in the world, right? This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, going back to the chariots, so-called UFOs, right? And every eye shall see him. It's going to be broadcasted everywhere, man. It's going to be live. And they also which pierced him, those same Roman centurions, are back here today, probably in some military capacity, because the scriptures speak about reincarnation, man. It says, and all kindreds of the earth, all families of the earth shall well because of him, even so, amen. Right? So the Heavenly Father's Son is coming with the chariots of Israel, right? Just bear with me. I forgot exactly where it's at. 68 to 22. Or is it 69? It's like y'all just had it too. Okay, here we go. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So within these UFOs, there's angels within these UFOs, man. And one angel, just one angel, can destroy the whole world, man. Right? And they're the brethren of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, or some like to be called indigenous. It says, even thousands of angels, Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, is among them as in Sinai, because he was the one that led us out of the Martyrzarian captivity through the Suez Canal, right? It says, in the holy place. So let's go to Second Esdras, which is in your Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, which that sea is speaking of the heavens, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, which, is also further touching on the word sea. It means waters or Bashamayim, It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So this is who the world inly calls Jesus Christ. He is that man that waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, because there's going to be thousands of so-called UFOs or ships. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, which we just read in Revelations, the first chapter, the 7th verse. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire, because he has his own weapons, man. He has lasers. He could shoot fire too. Spiritual power. He created all things. You know, he's the head of the table. He's the final boss. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. Now these are the so-called white man's military and all these heathen nations' militaries, out of number, from the four winds of the heaven. They're going to come from all directions to subdue the man that came out of the sea, that came out of the heavens. And how they're going to try to subdue him by shooting missiles, by scrambling fighter jets, you know. But I beheld, and lo, he had graded himself a great mountain. Now, I'm going to play the video again, but in the video it said it looked like the size that it could be, 15 miles, you know? It says, and flew upon it. So he's going to be standing on top of the ship, man. How many of you Edomites, you so-called white people, can fly around and stand on top of a B-2 or a B-21? You can't, man. But as the video said, this particular ship is traveling at over 130,000 miles per hour. So those aerial phenomenons that you see and you marvel about 15,000 miles per hour, that's just the low end that they can go, man. Verse 7, it says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, all those scrambled fighter jets, were sore afraid, and yet durst fight, but yet dared fight. Why? Because they're going to be so afraid that the Most High is going to have to put the spirit in them to fight, man. Just to, give a good little battle. Verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, the Sidewinder missiles, Fox 1, Fox 2, and they show you in this movie right here. Let me get it. No, let me do that. So this is what's going on in Second Ezra, the 13th chapter.
Summer is my favorite time of year, as the day.
Let's see. Fair use.
Holy God. Lock and load. We are red and free. Night 1, Fox 3. Night 3, Fox 3. Night 7, Fox 3. Night 1, switching to Sidewinders, moving in. Night 3, up 50. Nights, reference 120. Night 7, 120. Night 1, sweet lock, good go. Fox 2. Night 7, Fox 2. They must have some kind of protective shield over that hole. Nice, pull up, pull up! Blow through, blow through! So many of them!
So this is just a quick depiction of what is going to happen in real life, man. And this is the battle that it speaks of in the book of Revelation when it's dealing with Satan and his angels. right? Let me see if I can get that since I say it. Hopefully I'll remember where it's at. Con. This is Revelation, which it says the angel or Mayaka Allah, which means who was like the Most High, who was like God, or God-like. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Mayaka Allah and his angels, the chariots of Israel, which are which they ignorantly call the so-called UFOs, fought against the dragon, which is the so-called white man, and his fighter jets, and the dragon fought in his angels. His angels represents his fighter jets. You know, it says, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his eyes were, and his angels was cast out with him, meaning he was destroyed. He's going to be destroyed. He's going to be taken out of power, right? All that technology you spend billions and billions on is going to be for naught. Going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. It's going to be shooting a laser at you people, man. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain. So he's going to land, right, on earth, and call unto him a other peaceable multitude. Now, this is dealing with the elect of the nation of the true nation of Israel, which is you so-called blacks, Latinos, and indigenous, you know, and those that look like other nations. He's going to come to them, and those are the peaceable multitude. He's coming to his true children, right? The flying scroll. This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Now this was a relatively small ship. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth, you so-called white people, you Edomites, you stole everything, including people, including land, including identities and languages, shall be cut off, shall be destroyed, as on this side according to it. And everyone that swear, you tell people to swear on the Bible, where it explicitly says not to, right? Shall be cut off, shall be destroyed, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, which is Yahweh of armies, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. But the house of the thief is dealing with America, because they stole the jewels of God. It says, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. That's why there's so many so-called UFO sightings here in America, and shall consume it. So yeah, there it is a hostile force coming for you, man. It says with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. And not only are they going to destroy America, but those thermonuclear missiles are going to be shot off and destroy America as well, man. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and play this video again, and then I'm going to shalom you out.
What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. It is Saturday, July 26th, 2025, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 1600 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from outer space and also from Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe. So what you're looking at here is a picture taken by a satellite of some kind of intergalactic object that could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft. So according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists, this intergalactic object is a spacecraft from an alien society that is potentially preparing to attack us. And they're saying that the consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could be potentially dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th, to the preprint server ARXIV, Southwest Wales News Service reported. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity, the researchers wrote. The object, dubbed 3I Atlas, the interstellar entity, was discovered on July 1st, rocketing towards the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour, Live Science reported. Less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object, with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measures up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than the island of Manhattan. However, in this new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that the 2017 interstellar object Oumuamua could be an artificial recon probe sent by an alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. In this study, which he collaborated on with Adam Hibbard and Adam Crowell of the Initiative for Interstellar Studies in London, Loeb postulated that 3I Atlas's trajectory suggests a similar alien origin.
I want to buy your house. I can pay.
Felt the object's speed, which was significantly faster than Oumuamua and other objects, and the fact that it entered our solar system from a different angle than its predecessors offers various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, Loeb wrote in a blog post. One benefit is that 3I Atlas will make close approaches to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which could allow aliens to stealthily plant spy gadgets there, Loeb wrote. When the so-called undercover UFO reaches its closest to the sun in late November, it will be concealed from Earth's view. This could be intentional to avoid detailed observations from Earth-based telescopes when the object is brightest or when gadgets are sent to Earth from the hidden vantage point, Loeb declared. If this anomaly is a technological artifact, this could support the dark forest hypothesis, which argues we haven't found signs of extraterrestrial entities because they are remaining undercover to shield themselves from predators or prey. Loeb warns that this could suggest that an attack is likely and would possibly require defensive measures to be taken. So this is a Harvard astrophysicist saying that this new object is an alien reconnaissance ship that's spying on our planet, and he thinks that this means that an alien attack could be imminent. Okay.
So you know, I wanted to bring out another scripture came to my mind. I just want to get to the point. This is Wisdom of Solomon, because this is going to be the mind state of you so-called white people and you heathens, man, and also 2/3 of the nation, of the true nation of Israel. You know, the ones that can't get right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. That's why they're out there on the street corners now, before the face of such as have afflicted him. And that face and one that afflicted is dealing with you so-called white people, you Edomites, those that go back to the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Not saying that all so-called white people are bad, because some could be other nations or some could be Israelites. It says it made no account of his labors. They keep telling you that they ain't giving you jack shit for you building up this country. You ain't getting no reparations. That's all scriptural. Because, hey, really, the Heavenly Father is going to give you your reparations. And you know what those reparations are? Let me see if this is Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So what we're gonna get are you heathens in your land as reparations, man. When the Heavenly Father sends his son to destroy you, and he's on his way, right? It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Because look, we're going to be taken up into these ships simultaneously when those thermonuclear missiles are going to be bombing America, man. Right? Um, Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? Right? This is what you people gonna be thinking, saying. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of Yahweh Shai, we have not known it. What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hastened it by. And as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the path of the keel be in the waves. Or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it passeth the air which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show. Virtue is the order of angels, but were consumed in our own wickedness. Right? So, just as it described, that's how you so-called white people, the wicked, are gonna pass away, man. You're just a bad dream. Your glory is not gonna be remembered, man. It's gonna be remembered as the wicked, you know? So with that, I hope at least one brother elect was edified, and I'm gonna say shalom.